I want to introduce you to our process. Again, as we reflect back through our change evolution, we try to codify it into a model or into a process, and this is our process. We call it our value improvement process, but the output of this process is culture. We are trying to design very specific behaviors that the organization needs, okay? And we want these behaviors to be aligned to what matters most. And so this process really begins with defining what matters most. And so it begins with establishing clarity of vision. And when I say vision, I don't mean necessarily where we're going, where we're going to be in 10 years. I'm talking about more our purpose and our cause. Why do we exist? Why do we work so hard? Why do we come to work? We're talking about establishing that type of why, because people need to understand why if they're going to engage in change. Change is very hard. People naturally don't like it. And so you have to provide some compelling story for change. And so if you're embracing on your lean journey, you say things like, we're going to do 5S. Why? Because it always starts with 5S. That is not a compelling story, and the sustainability around that is going to be difficult, okay? Or if you say, we are going to do lean because we want to have higher efficiency and profitability. To a shop floor worker, I'm not sure that sounds that good, okay? That's not a compelling story. You have to break it down into a compelling story that everybody gets excited about. Why does this matter? Why does it matter if we're profitable? Why does it matter if our finances are better? You got to get it down to something that means something, like sustainability and employment, long-term growth, financial upside, whatever it is. You have to break it down into a compelling why story. And once you've defined that big picture of why we're going to work so hard, then we have to get down to some strategy, some action of what we're going to do. What are we actually going to change? And so we call that establishing shared strategy. And what I mean by strategy, I'm not really talking about the objectives and goals, trying to share those through the organization, though that's part of it. I'm really talking about a higher level perspective on strategy, and that is everybody in the organization must understand who is the end customer. We all must know who they are, to the point of names if you can, and faces. Who is your end customer and why do they buy from us? You got to establish that with every individual. What is our customer value? And then everyone must understand what is the value stream, or what are our systems or processes for creating value for the customer. And we must also all understand how well are we doing. How is this organization delivering value to the organization? And then we break it down into teams. What is this team or this department or this function's connection to the value stream, and how well are they doing that? So in the end, everyone understands the customer, they understand what they value, they understand the value stream, and they understand their connection and performance relative to that. And so you can imagine now we have this circumstance. They're saying, hey, we have this big why. We want to change because here's the opportunity. I see gaps in our ability to deliver value to the customer, so I see a gap. Now people can begin to see opportunities, and then they enter the problem-solving process. We teach PDCA problem solving. It's just really, we're just trying to be scientists. We're trying to be scientific thinking, to use the scientific method. And we engage the whole organization in problem solving. And so as our employees go through this problem solving process to solve their gaps in their ability to create value, in the end, the output of that is some new innovation, some new, better way of working, new way of thinking, some better way of creating value. And then in order to leverage that in the organization, we want to share and set that across the organization. And this is the difficult part, okay? This is when you have that conversation with somebody and they say, yeah, but I've been doing it like this for 30 years and it's worked fine. Why do I need to change? And as soon as they say why, I go right back to the why. Well, remember, we're here to improve lives. We're going to make your life better if this business is successful. Here's the gap in what the customer is seeing in their ability to create value. Here's the PDCA, the science, the scientific method, and the data that supports why this is a better way, and we teach them that. And ultimately, they go, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to change. I'm going to change from the old way to the new way. We've changed behaviors in that case, and that's altering your culture, okay? So one cycle through this process, we change some behavior in the organization, and this new behavior is a better way of serving the customer that moves us closer to fulfilling our vision.